Gonna be loading on in and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gressvan. We have our pink Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gressvan, we have the Canadian Protoss player representing Team Basilisk. It is Trigger. I see in the chat. Sure, we have Baberine, Spirit, Nikrak, Beyond, and Special, but Honmono is the last Terran hope. He's the best Terran, okay? He's the Terran that we strive to be. We all want to be hung like Mono. As as we are getting into this, and yeah, we used to cast ArT so frequently, like every single week in Sparkling Tuna Cup. He used to be a very active player in the online tournament scene. This year in 2023, a little bit less so, which is you know, a little bit of a shame, as we have a really interesting opener. Oh my god, this is crazy. So Trigger is going for a standard 2-gate opener. ArT is hiding his second. I've never seen this before. Legit, I have never seen a PvP open like this where it looks like he's faking a gate expand. That's crazy. And you know us, we cast a lot of StarCraft, but I have not seen a PvP opener like this, and I love it. So we're going to be showing a gateway and a cybercore. This looks like ArT wants to be greedy and expand here on the low ground, as it is still a 2-gate opener anyway. So yeah, we'll see what Trigger does as a response. We'll see if he takes the bait. We'll see if he overreacts. Interesting. We do have those 2 Stalkers on the way here for our Trigger. Gonna be checking the natural base here. Gonna be looking to try and delay this for as long as possible, as he does dip back in. Yeah, he doesn't buy it. He's like, what's going on, Papi? I don't understand. I mean, the second pylon is here in the main as well. So yeah, really interesting here. Is off of 1 base, Trigger is going to be delaying his Nexus. He's going to be going into a Twilight Council. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws down a 3rd gateway as well, as he's looking for a proxy. He's looking, scouring the edges of the map, trying to figure out what is going on. And yeah, behind this, there is that 3rd gate. So we have a 3-gate blink opener here. This is very committed out of Trigger. This is going to be very aggressive from our Canadian Protoss. He's sending his probe across the map. He could even set up a proxy pylon across the map as well for the 1 base all in. That is what we're getting here from Trigger. Now, ArT should be expecting this. Like, I feel like this opener is supposed to bait a 1 base all in, right? Like, this is the ideal situation. So can ArT handle this is the question, as ArT is going to be sneaking out behind the army and he's going for his own counterattack. He's going to realize that there is no Nexus, and it's a 1 base all in. Stalkers have arrived. Meanwhile, yeah, we have to push up this ramp. We wait a little bit too long. A couple of Stalkers, they pass in the night. And he's going to be trying to focus down these gateways. But there is that proxy pylon out from ArT. Sorry, from Trigger. He does warp in defensively back at home. And ArT is going to be going for a defensive Dark Shrine. I love this. Okay. So this is going to get really interesting. ArT should be forced to cancel his natural base. He warped in. He forced a defensive warp in as well from Trigger, which is going to be slowing this down. He's going to try and save it? Oh. Okay. I don't think he can. He's going to try. It goes for the recall, and he is going to be able to force this back. Oh my god, this Nexus is so low. Very risky to let it finish. Meanwhile, he's going for DTs. And you know what? Trigger doesn't have detection. No robo, no nothing. And there we go. A kill on the Nexus. Ooh, that is brutal. We blink on forward as well, but there is no Stargate, there's no Forge, there's no robo. DTs can end the game. And there is a pylon out on the map, so we can warp in, behind this army. And here we go. The Stalkers are trying to force their way up the ramp. There are so many of them as well. Where's the overcharge? We're still holding on to it. Still not quite using it. Do have a shield battery behind this. Again, ArT just trying to hold on with as little as possible. There's the overcharge that we were talking about. But, yo, we don't even care. We are forced to warp in the DTs defensively. And we're going to be losing a lot of Stalkers. But there we go. Trigger, his aggression is about to end. Where is the second DT? It's across the map, or it's going across the map. Oh no, we proxy the Robo. Uh-oh. This is a very exposed Robo. Oh, but we're not going for it. We totally could. The DT ignores the Robo. We're going across the map instead. We're going for some economic damage. Oh, but Trigger is fully walling off. He knows. He knows he's under threat. We see Trigger once again pushing up the ramp, focusing down these Stalkers. Oh god, the Robo still not done, detection still not out. And that DT is busting on through. Do we have any sentries? We do not. We don't have any force fields. We're going to try and re-wall. We do get a kill, not a cancel, and the DT has busted into the main. We also have defensive DTs across the map as well. The first observer is on the way, but this is doing so much damage already. Finally, the first DT is going to be going down, and we do recall. Bearing in mind that time is a win condition here for ArT because Trigger is all in. He was all in on one base. His economy is in shambles. He's down to 18 probes. No, we didn't recall the observer. No, we didn't recall Fafi. Oh, The DT could have stuck around, but ArT didn't know, so he does evacuate with his DT. Does get the hell out of there. Robo goes down. Observer finally comes back home. Thankfully, the DT already left. Didn't need to leave. Could have stuck around. Could have done even more damage, but it's okay. Ooh. The punish isn't too real, and now things are looking to settle down a little bit. ArT has been able to catch up with Blink. He's going for a... What is it with today and ninja bases? Oh, God. Going to be going for a ninja base as well, just to keep it safe, just to make sure that it doesn't get focused down. As Trigger is still committed on the one base play, setting up a proxy, going across the map. Look at the units tab. ArT has the Stalker advantage. He has the high ground. He has the ramp. Has 3 shield batteries and a defensive Robo. I love it. He's making an observer, so if ArT kills the observer of Trigger, then that's also a win condition. If he does get rid of the detection. But ArT just may have a little bit too much. Is going to be able to force Trigger back. Going to be able to take down the proxy pylon as well. Trigger is racing back home. It looks like he wants to expand. I mean, for all Trigger knows, his opponent's on one base, right? So it's okay to expand. Like, he's going to be able to take an economic lead. Well, the reality is that ArT is on 2-base economy. So Trigger thinks he's in a better position than he is. Oh boy. I took a swig of water. And from here, I mean, we can just chill. ArT, he can just fully saturate on 2 bases. We can work on that Stalker count. We can start Immortal production. We can go for even charge. Even take a 3rd base. The world is ArT's oyster. As for the time being, he's just going to be chilling back at home, taking his gases. And how can Trigger come back into this? I mean, he could go for a Dark Stride of his own. He has a Robo. He could maybe try to rush into a Robotics Bay. We see ArT going for his 3rd Nexus, by the way. So is going to be maintaining that base lead. Really aesthetic. The wall of stalkers, it's nice. It's pretty to look at. Looks nice. Looks good. But alas, we do need something else. And there we go. ArT is just going to keep capitalizing on his lead. We have Immortal production. He is lacking a Forge. So because of that, ArT may have a bit of an upgrade advantage if the game goes on that long enough. He is going to have +1 available. And the Hallucinated Phoenix is going to be able to scout everything. Does confirm the natural, does confirm the Forge timing as well. So ArT knows he's going to be behind behind in the upgrades. Meanwhile, is this hallucination going to see? Up. Not quite. Trigger, he doesn't come across the ninja base. Still is unaware, and now ArT has a massive army. We have 20 Stalkers and an Immortal against 16. We also have that proxy pylon being set up as well. Oof. So I just realized, yeah, there we go. I realized I had the players mixed up. Well, sorry, on the wrong side. And ArT, he's going to be able to push on forward. We do see Trigger is waiting for him, has an amazing concave and an overcharge. But is that going to be enough? Oh, great force fields. He does take down the first Immortal. Beautifully done here by Trigger. But we just aggressively being going forward. We don't even care, mate. We just dive on in. Shield battery goes down. The boys are being pulled, but they're stuck. They were stuck behind the Stalkers. With this, Trigger may be able to hold on, but the blinks are too good. He loses his mineral line, and ArT is just going to be able to clean on up. Here come the reinforcements. Again, a really nice concave, but it's just too much in the end. Trigger is going to force us back. He is down to 17 probes. You only have 4 mineral patches left in the main. Trigger fighting his heart out, and I don't blame him, right? Like, you know, he's up against a 2-base Protoss. But he's not. That's the problem, Papi. That's the problem. He's up against a 3-basing Protoss. As we see Trigger going to be able to chase some of these units down in the end, but he's going to be running into another Immortal, more Stalkers. Oof. Trigger has an Immortal of his own, and the armies are pretty comparable. We do see Trigger now with +1. It is going to be kicking in. We do see ArT maybe being punished a little bit for his lack of gateways, but at the end of the day, he's still able to hold on. Does focus down that Immortal. And Trigger is going to try and redrone. He's trying, Bob. He's trying. He's going for it. Let's go. Gonna be looking to try and outposition his opponent as well. Trigger is slipping behind the army. But now he's up against 2 Immortals. He can't really take this fight. Oh, he's going to be losing a little bit too much. 2 Stalkers do go down. And ArT's even making a couple of DTs because why the hell not? Make it all, Papi. Make it all. ArT also has eyes on the would-be 3rd bases of his opponent just in case Trigger were to go up to 3 bases. ArT is aware. Blinks on forward, focuses down everything he can. And it looks like this should finally be the last hurrah. GG gets called and ArT takes game number 1. Ooh, GG. Oh. Uh-oh. I think my game just crashed, but GG, well played. ArT will take it with again, a very unique opener. I know it was a long game and a lot happened, I understand. But if you remember, ArT did go for... He did fake out his opponent. He acted as if he was going for a gate expand when he actually hid his 2nd gateway on his own side of the map, and he kind of baited Trigger into a 1-base all-in. Because for those who don't know, that's the typical response. If you see your opponent going for a gate expand on a map like Gressvan without a ramp at the natural, then a 1-base all-in, whether it's Blink or Immortals or Stargate, what have you, is the typical response. So Trigger was kind of playing into ArT's hands, and ArT, his whole plan there was to defend with a pretty comparable production because he had 2 gateways, protect his main, and go for DTs, and win with those DTs, and he did so much damage. The cherry on top was the ninja base. Very technical play there out of ArT. GG. And now we're going to be getting into game number 2. Why did you not cast Eric today? We did. We casted Eric in ESL Americas. What do you mean, Bobby? What do you mean? This morning we casted Eric. And if you're talking about tonight, we're also casting Eric. We're always casting him. What do you... Este Hydra. As here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have our pink Polish Protoss player representing Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. Leading the series 1-0, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Protoss, currently down in this series, but not out, representing Team Basilisk. It is Trigger. But yeah, for those wondering, we were casting ESL Open Cup Americas earlier this morning, and we were able to watch a lot of really good players. You know, we casted Max Pax, we casted Dark, we casted Solar, and we also casted Eric as well. A lot of great games, I mean, here, we're casting Eric later on tonight. Later on tonight, we have 7 best of 3s lined up, and this is our 3rd best of 3, if I'm not mistaken. That's our 3rd one, so we're getting there. We have a lot of matches. we have a lot of games, Papi. We have a lot of games. Don't worry. Go. As we are going to be getting to a much more standard opener here. Oh, interesting. Okay. How the turns do tables. So ArT is going for a 2-gate opener here on Dragon Scales. Trigger is actually going for a low ground 2-gate opener. And ArT doesn't know. He doesn't know. He sees the gate expand. Uh-oh. ArT is going to be setting up for a 1-base all-in. It's the Uno reverse card. In a less fancy way. Trigger is faking a gate expand, and ArT is unaware. But this time the gate is in the natural. ArT, he didn't see, Poppy. He didn't see the 2nd gateway. Oh boy, the pylon is thrown down. What's the proxy going to be? Is it going to be a Robo? It is going to be a Stargate instead. Adepts are on the way. ArT looking to be very aggressive here to try and punish the greed here, or the would-be greed of his opponents. But again, it's a 2-gate opener, which means Trigger may not even be looking to expand. He may be looking for his own aggressive play instead. Meanwhile, ArT is going to recheck the ramp, and he is going to confirm the gateways and the lack of nexus. Oh, okay. So from here, ArT needs to expand. He doesn't have the money for it, but well, we've got some options. Oh, no, he's doubling down. He's committed at this point. We're throwing down the Robo. Let's go. Oh, we canceled the Stargate. Oh my god, we're crazy. Okay, we cancel the Stargate. Trigger does scout the proxy as well. He's going to be able to shut it down, and we're going for the Robo. ArT has been bamboozled. He has to switch his gears. He has to change his plans. And ArT is going for the 2-gate expand. Sorry, Trigger is going for the 2-gate expand. ArT, he's got some options. He either expands as well a little bit later, or he throws down a 3rd gateway. And we go all in. Oh boy. These PvPs. Here we go. Immortal production has commenced. Warp Gate is on the way as well. The Adepts are looking to shade on in, and more importantly, they need to scout what's going on. They will commit to the shade, and they do get eyes onto the Nexus. So he knows that his opponent is expanding, and now ArT should be free to expand. But there are Stalkers here to stop him. Ay. The Stalkers have arrived. We do force a cancel. ArT is in a really awkward position. Oh boy. does throw down his Nexus in the end, but he is quite behind. He's going to be working on a Prism, which I do like. So with this Prism, ArT can be a little bit aggressive. He can go for a bit of a drop across the map. It is a little bit risky, but he has to do something to catch back up, because he is straight up behind economically, and we're getting into a longer game. Oh my god. So he's going to be going for a hallucinated scout. He does confirm the Twilight Council and the robo openers. Does see that we have the Twilight Council researching, so he knows that there is no blink. So he also is aware that he's behind tech-wise, and we're throwing down that Twilight Council as a response. So Trigger's going to be ahead in the workers, he's going to be ahead in the tech, ahead in the blink. The one thing that ArT has going for him is that he's going to have Immortals back at home. As long as he doesn't lose his Prism. Oh no. Oh god. The Prism does slip into the main. At the same time, Adepts shade into the natural as well. Probes are falling, and this is very necessary damage for ArT. He even warps in Adepts into the main. And there we go. The Immortals going ham. The Adepts get into the main base as well. Probes are going to be falling left and right. Things are getting really chaotic, and Trigger was really not expecting this. Oh god, we have to be very careful not to lose that Immortal. Oh! Does save it in the end, and meanwhile we still have Adepts here at the natural base as well. Oof. ArT is evening up the worker count, and just like that, you know, we're recovering. He's still behind in other aspects, like Blink is just about to finish for Trigger, so he's gonna have a much more mobile army. Ooh. But that's also the power of this Prism. That is that this Immortal is going to be keeping some supply back at home, even if Trigger were to move out. As the Immortal is going to be going ham. We do have Blink available. Up. Oh! We do dive on in, and we do not get the Prism or the Immortal. They do survive. Now back at home, ArT is going to be able to get into the swing of things. We have our third gate on the way. We're getting fully saturated on these two bases. We even recall that Prism back home, so it's no longer stuck. And sure, Trigger may have Blink and he may have a larger Stalker army. It's going to be difficult to really make use of that when he's up against 3 Immortals. No shield battery though. It's a little bit concerning. No shield battery, so ArT is a little bit vulnerable, but he has the high ground. He should be safe. Oh, he should be okay. Well, there we go. So we do have a couple of force fields. Once again, we have that Blink on forward as well. The Immortal is going to be focused down. Oh, but ArT goes for the counter Blink. He wants to try and punish this. He does get the Observer. But he did lose an Immortal there. So a little bit rough there by ArT. Oof. Solid Blinks out of Trigger. Oh my god. Blinks were insane, Papi. And ArT has to be careful not to overextend, but he wants to really press the issue. He wants to take advantage of his Immortal count. He knows he has the momentum. We do see a third base being taken, but ArT, he doesn't care about the third. He's got some options. He can try to go for the third to even up the economy, or he can try to go for the kill. Here we go. It looks like the third base is going to be the answer. We don't have that many Stalkers. We do have an Immortal here on the high ground, but this Nexus is not long for this world. Trigger thinking about trying to hold on to it, but no, he cannot. The base will fall. Trigger going for a bit of a counterattack is going to pull away the army of ArT. Oh my god, but the Immortal's exposed! Oh no! We have 2 shield batteries, but the shield batteries are not going to come into play. The Immortal goes down. Trigger walking down the ramp. Ay. Loses an Immortal. He's going to lose a second Immortal as well. He has an army out of the map that's not helping whatsoever. And this is how it all ends. The Immortals, they bust on in. The boys are being pulled. We have an overcharge as well. We force field the ramp. Not the most impactful force field because we have Blink, but it's, you know, we get it anyway. And ArT has done it. GG gets called. ArT takes the 2-0. Oh my god. GG. Wow. An unexpected turn of events. This is Trigger. Trigger is one of the best players in North America. He's up there with Neve, with Estrella, with Scarlet. And for ArT to come out swinging here, again, a very special build in game 1. Game 1 is still my favorite. I loved game 1. But even here in game 2, we saw like some counter mind games as well. Ugh. GG. Congratulations to ArT as he does take the series 2-0 and moves on to the next round. My condolences to Trigger. Again, PvPs can be really chaotic, and we even saw that here. You know, Trigger was in a really good position, and then the Adept harass, right? We had 2 Adepts at the natural, we warped in 2 Adepts in the main, we had the Immortal being harassing as well, and that was all a risky move out of ArT, but ArT was behind. ArT was having a really hard time at the start of that game after losing that Nexus, so he had to do some damage. The pressure was on ArT, and he pulled it off. He was able to pull it off in the end. Ooh. And with that, he moves on to the next round, and who is he going to be facing? Oh, he's going to be facing the winner of Nightmare versus Baby Marine. And that happens to be our next series. Let's go. Oh, the continuity. Nightmare versus Baby Marine is going to be next here for us on the CranKy Ducklings, and we're going to be getting ready for that. We are also getting towards the halfway mark of the broadcast. Oh, this is our 4th match, and we have 7 in total. And yeah, because of that, because I've been solo casting for a bit here, we are going to be going. Oh, we are going to be going on a short break, like a 5-minute break or something. I need some water. Going to be going on a short break. When we return, we are going to be featuring Korea versus Europe, Nightmare versus Baby Marine. Oh, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. The TVPs continue. They continue. Oh, see you then. See you then.